All right, I'm back. Wow, seems like I just finished my last video. Oh, I did. If you had watched the last video, I said I was going to make one about mortgages and stuff, and here I am. How about that? Still got a little bit more time of driving, probably another 10-15 minutes. I'm going to get the car washed, so that add on a few minutes. Mortgages. So I was making a comment about if you have good credit, you can pretty much go anywhere you want and get a loan. And some people may want to shop around and whatnot. And it popped in my head, I remember the days of people calling our office and asking, what is your rate? What is your 30-year fixed rate? Conventional, FHA, whatever it is that they were looking for. And, we'd get the rate sheet of that day, and we'd try to figure out, like, okay, if you were sitting in front of me, what rate would I quote you? And I would give it to them. The problem with that, and this is why I wasn't very good at it, and I kind of even cringe when I say that. I wasn't very good at it because I was honest and I told the truth. And I lost business a lot. There's always somebody out there who will lie to you. They will lie to you and tell you what great rate you're going to get. And then after you've paid for an appraisal, let's say you're doing a refinance, you've paid for an appraisal, you've done all this work, you've invested all this time, and in the end they say, well, sorry, we can't get you that rate, but I can get you this other rate. Or if you still want that rate, we can do it, but you got to pay these points. At that point, you're probably just like so sick and tired of the whole process, like you're just hating it, but you're gonna go through with it because you don't want to start over. You already got this appraisal, you already got all this paperwork with them. You're just like, I'm done. I just want to refinance. You're feeling like you're days, or if not a week or so away from closing this loan, and maybe you're trying to get cash out. Maybe you got this home improvement that you're waiting on, and you already got it in your mind, yeah, I'm going to start in 2 weeks because the money will be there, and then when they throw this stuff at you, what are you going to do? You're going to go somewhere else and start all over, have them rerun your credit, because at this point it's probably been, your credit was probably run at least probably a couple of weeks prior. And then what, you're going to take another inquiry hit on your credit? If they're run close enough together and they're for the same kind of inquiry, I guess the credit bureaus, it all blends together and doesn't impact your score separately. But if you're waiting through the process here and then they spring on you this rate that's not as good as you were told over the phone, and why you didn't come with me to begin with, you're just gonna take it and then move on. You're gonna be hating them, but they're still gonna collect their money. They made their money. They got their deal through. Whether you come back or not, they don't care. They'll go to the next guy or girl. So, going back when I was talking about people shopping for rates, it's really hard to know what rates are there. Now, like my credit union will say, and it looks like it's updated daily, it should be anyway, here's our rates for today. And if you want this rate with no points, here it is. If you want to pay points, we can get you a better rate. And that's what I did on my home loan. Is I asked them, when I don't know what I was quoted. This was a couple of years back when the rates were really good, and I think the going rate was like 4 or 4 and an eighth or something like that, 4 and a quarter. But I wanted under 4, so I paid some points to get it at 3.5. And it's a 30-year fixed. I'm never going to touch it. We don't ever plan to sell it. Unless it has so much equity and we sell it, we can pay cash for something else that we want and to retire, then maybe. But no, I'm going to sit on this 3.5% loan forever. So I was willing to pay some points for that because I knew I was going to hold on to it. If rates get better than that, I would be worried about the the economy if rates got better than that, because I don't know what that means. They have to entice people that much that they're giving away cheaper rates than that. I'm not going to even try to speculate on that, but you can ask, like, okay, maybe it's not on their rates that they quoted, maybe it's not on their website. You can sit there and say, well, what if I pay 2 points? And a point is 1%. So it's going to be 1% of your loan. And you get a $500,000 loan and you're going to pay 1% or 1 point. What does that translate? $5,000? You're going to, that's what you pay. Now, I guess you could pay it out of pocket, but if you're, say, refinancing, then that might be part of the cash out, that's worked into the loan. To me, it's worth it, especially if you're going to hold it long term. You can do your own calculations to figure out where the break-even point is. Like, okay, if you're going to spend $5,000 up front, how long would it take to recoup that in savings to where you find your break-even point? Is it a couple of years? Is it 5 years? You can see if that makes sense to you or not. If you have a really long break-even point, maybe you think twice about doing that. And especially if you think you're only going to be in it for a temporary amount of time, you might be thinking, this house is great, but once my kids are grown and gone and off to college, we're probably definitely going to be selling. We're going to downsize. We don't need this big house at that point. Then you may want to think about, that break even and what you potentially can save. But unless you got like a really bad deal, really big loan, it's probably worth it. But until you calculate it, you don't know for sure. So you got that. That's a big thing. So if you're shopping rates, what is your rate? What is your rate? I don't think it matters, especially when you're right at the beginning of your process. It doesn't matter. Now, if you want to shop around and lock your rate, and this is how it used to be, I'm pretty sure this is still how it is today. I'm just trying to remember a few years ago when we did the house, the loan. Lock in the rate. That's what you want. So if you want to shop around a little bit, and they'll say, hey, we'll get you this rate with this amount of points, and make sure, and I'm trying to remember my terminology, but I remember there was like origination points, and then there was, I think, discount points. And back then we did good faith estimates. I don't even know if they do that now. Do they call it that? But that's when you first apply and you get the whole breakdown, and so you can see what all the fees should look like and whatnot. That way you know what you're getting yourself into, or you hope that's going to show you. But you got to make sure that whatever points they're talking about, it includes all the different points. I don't care what they call them. They're still points. And yeah, so if you're going to shop around, don't have them all run your credit. Just tell them, maybe you can get your own mortgage FICO score from Experian or whatever, and say, this is what my score is on Experian, to get an idea. And if you have a good credit, it shouldn't matter. It's like I said, I think it was in the other video. Once you're at a certain level, like 740, it doesn't. I don't think it matters a whole lot. You don't need 750 or 765. It's just, it is what it is. I could be wrong. There could be circumstances where those higher scores do play a role in the something. It's just not what my experience has been. What else do I want to say? So if you're going to shop around a little bit, that's fine, but you know, it only matters if you lock in the rate. And I don't know how you would get confirmation or proof. I guess maybe you email them. You know, that's another little tidbit of advice here. When you have all these phone conversations with people, it means nothing. Absolutely nothing. They'll tell you anything you want to hear. What I've done when I have phone conversations with people, especially with our facility, I will follow up with an email. And I'll say, I just wanted to summarize our phone conversation, make sure I understand everything correctly. Can you please just confirm that I have it right, or please let me know where I may have misunderstood? So you're asking for a confirmation, you're asking for feedback, and you hope that they send you something back saying, yeah, you got it all right, that's what we said, 100%, you're good. Now I have at least some kind of trail, some physical trail of what's being talked about. So maybe that, you know, you get that with your mortgage person, you know, that you get that in writing saying, yeah, you've been approved, this is your rate, these are your points. Ask if there's any other fees that they might have. I mean, who knows? There's always a fee that can be squeezed in someplace. So just make sure you look at all the fees and question them. Ask them for clarification. And with the internet the way it is today, and you know, all this AI ChatGPT stuff, you should be able to get anything answered. You could even scan in, or if you got an electronic file of this good faith estimate or whatever they call them now, you can put that into ChatGPT and say, is this good or something? You know, it's getting to that point. And maybe it can tell you, yeah, you're getting a good deal. No, this is horrible. Or, you know, I don't know. I'd probably try it. I'd be very interested to see what it says. But, you know, check out all the fees that are being claimed and get that in writing. That's the way you're going to lock it down. I don't want to crash here. But what else do I want to say? I'm not going to say a whole lot. I've already gone at 13 minutes. I don't want to make these long videos. But there's a lot about mortgages to watch out for. Like traffic, you got to watch out. And yeah. So I mean, if I have some knowledge, it's been a long time since I've done mortgages. I've had mortgages, so I've gone through the process of having mortgage loans for myself and doing mortgage loans for other people, doing home equity line of credits. I've had a couple of those, got one now. Again, I'm no expert, but if you have some questions I might be able to answer, you know, put it down in the comments. You know, I can make another video and talk more about something. If you got a question, get my 2 cents from it. If I'm not 100% about something, I'll tell you. I'll say, this is what I think, but, you know, check it out, confirm what I'm telling you is true. Anyway, guys, this is going to wrap this one up. Hope you enjoyed it. Like that you're here. I hope you guys are enjoying my company. I enjoy your company. It beats staring at the windshield and watching traffic, which I guess I should be doing, but I'm still watching traffic. Anyway, guys, have a good day. Talk to you later. Bye.